Hey, I got these truth burgers, man. Want some?
No,
You can't handle the truth.
I just want to be in my safe space.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise is dead and should be left in peace. There, we said it. You would think after 48 years, anyone in Hollywood would understand the character of Leatherface and his deranged family and deliver a worthy sequel to the 1974 classic. But no, this franchise has done everything possible to stray away from the simple formula set by the original, from having villains killed by fucking airplanes.
What the was that?
To a 125-pound chick chopping Leatherface's whole arm off with a few weak swings from a meat cleaver.
Oh my God! Don't do it! Oh my God! Oh my God! My God! My God! Oh my God! As God is my witness, he is broken in half.
To Leatherface being a guardian protector to his long-lost cousin.
Do your thing, cuz.
Fuck you! To Leatherface going to space. Okay, we didn't get there yet, so when Netflix announced that they would be producing a new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie, me and Aiden had our doubts.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre starts with our main characters Melody and Dante, who are entrepreneurs headed to the abandoned Texas town of Harlow to auction off old properties to create a trendy and heavily gentrified area.
Hey, what are you people doing?
We're gentrifying. It's all good.
Because fuck business location and demographics, that's why. Joining them on this trip to create this Gen Z safe space is Melody's sister Leela, a survivor of a school shooting, and Dante's girlfriend Ruth. The film wastes no time in having us root for their deaths when Melody starts an argument with Richter, the town's local mechanic, over his absurd idea to like being a free American and carry his firearm out in the open.
Look at this guy. Who has such a small dick they need to walk around in public with a fucking gun? Like, I mean, is he compensating for something?
So I guess this movie is trying to convey a message about gun violence right off the bat.
The movie is also terribly aware of itself.
In the summer of 1973, 5 youths were attacked in a grisly and gruesome fashion.
What are the chances of this curly-haired fuck seeing this news report only to witness the horror of seeing Leatherface himself later on? It's like watching a special on the disappearance of Dawn Lewis, only to meet Carol Baskin herself a few hours later.
Get out of here, you bitch!
They finally arrive, Anne.
We have a vision for this place. All it needs is young blood.
Oh, this space would be perfect for my art gallery. This is a chance for people to start fresh somewhere without the violence and the madness. Somewhere safe.
And yeah, we definitely want everyone to die in this movie.
I hope you fucking die!
They walk into an orphanage after seeing an old Confederate flag and try to take it down. There they meet Ginny, who has been taking care of Leatherface all these years. When they inform her that her house has been reclaimed by the banks, which we later find out isn't true, she gets a heart attack en route to the hospital after the local sheriff just decides to kick her out because fuck legal documentation, that's why.
Accompanied by Leatherface himself, Ginny dies in his arms, and this throws him into a fit of rage as he literally snaps a cop's hand and uses the bone to stab him. 3 words for ya: old man strength. This causes the ambulance to crash with the accompanying Ruth and Sheriff in it. Leatherface cuts off Ginny's face, puts the shit on like a fitted suit, and yeah, Ruth is there to witness it. A terrified Ruth radios in for help and describes what she is seeing before she and the injured Sheriff are both killed.
God, I wish someone cut my face off when I saw that stupid-ass bone stabbing scene. The local redneck at the gas station hears Ruth's radio call and knows this is Leatherface. So instead of informing the authorities, he calls old-ass Laurie Strode off Wish.com Sally Hardesty, the survivor of the 1974 massacre, to inform her that her tormentor is back. Yes, because it's really believable that after the original, she was up for seeing Leatherface again. At least in 2018's Halloween. They had the respect to have Jamie Lee Curtis reprise her role, but due to Marilyn Burns' death in 2014, they got another actress, 67-year-old Owen Foray, to play the role.
Anyhow, Melody and Dante go back into the orphanage to look for the deed to the house after Richter takes the keys to the bus and demands to see it since he assumes they don't have it, therefore wrongfully causing Ginny's death. But Leatherface returns and kills Dante. Melody hides under a bed and sees Leatherface's obsession with his now deceased adoptive mother as he wears her face and puts makeup on it. Leatherface hears and sees the Gen Z invaders outside and seems rightfully pissed off now that his life in Harlow will consist of Starbucks shops, social justice protests, and the blasting of Cardi B's music. Ugh. It is at this point where the film really drives home the theme of gentrification.
Melody barely escapes with the help of her sister Lila after Leatherface attempts to kill her. After disposing of Richter, they retreat to the bus and begin to drive off, but miraculously for Leatherface, the bus suddenly stops because fuck it, we need this next scene. I'm assuming his old ass was fast enough to catch up to the bus and slash a tire or something. The bus driver goes out to inspect the bus and we are stunned to find out he gets killed. Leatherface enters the bus and we get this shit line.
Try anything and you're canceled, bro.
It's a pity because the lead up to this moment was solid. Of course, the film being laughably aware of itself was quick to ruin that. Then the madness goes down. And why didn't they just jump him? This part of the script looked like Vince McMahon wrote it for one of his WWE shows when one wrestler beats a shit ton of other wrestlers and they all just kinda wait for their turn.
The Undertaker is cleaning house!
Lila and Melody escape through the top window of the bus and get intercepted by old ass Sally. She gives a stupid ass speech reminiscent of 2018's Halloween nonsense on an old white woman facing her male tormentor after so many years. She locks Melody and Lila in her pickup because, hey there, he's after ya, so you gotta act as bait, only to change her mind 5 minutes later as she tells them to get out of Harlow. Sally's also quite stupid for hesitating to shoot Leatherface at point blank range as she's stunned to find out he doesn't remember her.
Say my name. Say you know me. You don't remember me.
Really? She expects Leatherface to remember her? He's mentally deranged, and it's been 50 years since either of you have seen each other. Anyways, Sally does a complete 180 and attacks Leatherface when he zeroes in on Lila and Melody, who are trapped inside of the car that she herself locked them inside of. She finally fires away. Great going, strong woman.
I am the strongest woman this state has ever seen!
A laughable battle occurs between her and Leatherface as she shoots multiple 12-gauge shotgun shells into his 70-year-old body. Hell, he even rips her guts out in half only for her to manage to still fire off a couple of rounds. This movie must have the strongest senior citizens in human history. Leela, Melody, and Leatherface face off, and eventually they get the best of him, or so they think, after shooting him 36,502 times with a shotgun and running his own chainsaw through his body. Why not just have Leela kill him by overcoming her fear of guns and giving her that moment? I mean, really, it's just kind of makes sense. Instead, curly-headed fuck over here steals her glory. It was also cringe seeing the ending where Leela and Melody are driving off in a car on autopilot, only for Leatherface Voorhees to yank Melody out of the window and decapitate her.
That is so lame!
The inclusion of such a modern thing like a self-driving car to this franchise is akin to getting a handjob by a cactus. The scene of the car driving away on its own while Leatherface beheads Melody as Leela watches is such over-the-top bullshit that even Steven Seagal can't keep a straight face.
It's a crime to have this movie be associated in any way with the original. Its self-awareness is ridiculous. A modern-day setting has no fucking place in a franchise which began in the 70s and thrived off being simple and subtle. The characters are annoying and stupid, and the runtime allows no development. Leatherface is a senior citizen who has been transformed into Jason Voorhees, opposed to being just a deranged hillbilly terrorizing our screen, because we know how real he might just be. He was never meant to be a Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees, and that's what made him terrifying. The original was a simple premise of 5 youths wandering into hell and not being aware of it. The characters were real and didn't resort to over-the-top performances or sequences. This movie poured a shit ton of blood in front of us and expected us to applaud, all the while depriving the story of any common sense, proper character development, or anything really. This movie also fails to even be clear on its message. Lila being afraid of guns due to her traumatic past, yet also being fascinated by them, makes no sense, and there really is no payoff to her story. Leatherface and Sally being old and slugging it out is cringe, and Sally's redemption story is a joke, since she's more of a deterrent to the character's survival than Leatherface himself.
And where the fuck are the cops in all of this? They caught a live recording of Leatherface murdering a whole bus full of people and just said, nah, it's all good. Look, as horror fans, we love this premise, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remains closer to our hearts than Monica to Bill's.
You shouldn't have talked, you stupid bitch! I hope you die!
But when things just aren't working out, it's time to say goodbye. We love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but because we love it, it is time to declare judgment.
In the name of Jesus!
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
I execute judgment on you!
And maybe time to take old Yeller behind the barn and put him down.
You look over there. Okay, I'll tell you.
And I get the Tinder wrap.
And that's all, folks. We are Aiden and Ollie.
And we're our single mom's whole world.
And please, stop swiping left on her Tinder profile.